Hello and welcome to the OAC Mini Challenge Championship. We are at round 3 of the championship, which takes place at Zandvoort. As we wait for the intermission now, let's look at this. From him, let's change back to that. That would probably help. Okay. Hopefully we see some excellent driving from him today. Especially some good things. First time driving these cars apparently. So it'll be definitely interesting from him. Unsure of what was happening there. Darren is just leaving the pits now. In the, I believe, the number 27 Mini, yep. As they warm up their tyres here. Going for their qualifying outlap. Let us know what you think of the leaderboard too. Obviously it is a F1 leaderboard, but we have slightly changed it with the OAC logo there. It seems like Kasper Masiniak is going for a last to first challenge, and if he does that successfully, he will gain an extra 15 points for the championship, I believe. So let's look at our other drivers as they set laps. Didier Duran in that number 44 Mini, securing a 2-minute 1 in their outlap there. Let's see what's to come. Oh, Didier Duran has gone off. As George comes down the long right-hander there. He seems to be flying into that corner there. Apologies for that. I was just ensuring the live was seen by other people. Okay. Seems we have a total of what seems to be 7 people, or around about 8 people in this race. Yeah, so we have Jensen Goldstein in 8th, Masiniak in 7th, which is not going to qualify. Noah in 6th, George in 5th. Lyndon in 4th, Darren in 3rd, and it seems to be we have one of our fast laps set by Lance Simmons there, 1:52.2. So he will be setting the race pace for... Oh, George with a 1:51.1. Excellent lap from him. Incredibly fast. So it seems that he will be setting the pace for the next couple of laps as our drivers complete their first out laps. Now let's see. How's Darren doing in 6th? Not too bad, coming through the one of the last corners there. He's going to be trying to set a good lap. Didier Duran with a 2:20. Obviously he was unable to set his fast lap last lap, as he was unfortunately taken by the gravel. Jensen and Linden, both on the same racing team here, J&L Racing, they have set their fast laps here with very similar times across the board. But it seems that Darren has set a new lap, 1:51.8, so he is 1/10 of a second behind George. Can he make that up in this fast lap? As Masiniak is not having a first place in qualifying here, this should be quite interesting to see if AEP Darren can take the first position here, as there's nothing really stopping him apart from George. Apologies for the stream lagging slightly. I will get that fixed for next season. As he comes into the quite long straight there, coming up to the penultimate corner. The exit from that corner, obviously you can gain plenty of time. It's just being able to link those 3 corners properly. Darren straddling the curb there. Excellent move from him. Lance in the pits. He's obviously secured his lap. In first. So he set a 1:50.891. 6:81, sorry. That's an excellent time from him as he leaves the pits for once again. What on earth is going on there? Darren just drove into the pit wall. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. George trying to top his lap here. Can he do it is the real question. Can he get that 1:50? Let's find out. Coming quite deep into the corner there. Final corner. This should be the moment where we see if George can top Lance Simmons' lap. Can he? Apologies for that. We are back. Apologies for that. We are back though. Unsure of what just happened. I believe it was a connection failure. So Lance still with the fastest lap, with under 2 minutes to go of qualifying, with a 1:58. So that puts him comfortably in first position. Let's see if George can make an improvement, obviously from his 1:51.3, which he had set a couple of laps prior, with Darren in third with a 1:51.8. Qualifying has finished. Apologies for that, I had to go and do something, but it seems like Lance Simmons is still in first with that 1:50.3, I believe. George in second with that 1:51. AP Darren in third with that 1:51.8. Didier Durant in fourth with that 1:53.183. Now, on to the race. We have about a minute and a half of waiting before we get the race underway. But it appears that we have just a mere 7 people racing in this race, which is slightly unfortunate considering this is one of the biggest rounds of the season. But not an issue, because as we know, Marciniak is going to... Sorry, 8 people. Marciniak is going to be doing that last to first challenge, which shall be quite interesting for you viewers. Now, let's wait until one of our drivers, which is Didier Durand, completes his final lap as he comes into turn 13 here. Here we go. I've just turned the lines on. Hang on. Here we go. With the round 3 of the Mini Challenge Championship underway. In first, we have Lance Simmons with that lap, in George in second, followed by Darren in third as we come into the first corner here. George maintaining that second position as Didier Durand gets taken out, followed by Lyndon in fourth, and a little clash between Noah and Lyndon there. Oh, look, it seems that... Who was that? Was that Lyndon that went off? Yes, it was. It was Lyndon. Jensen? Is that Jensen? Yeah, Jensen in fourth. Darren in third. George in second. Lance Simmons in first. Maintaining that lead by 1.3 seconds. With, let's see. Is Marciniak? Marciniak's in fifth position. As he, oh, a little collision there between Noah and him. Let's see. Turn these lines off. Oh, hang on. No, not mouse steering. Apologies for that. There we go. Okay, lines off. Let's have a look how Lance Simmons is doing, cruising in first position, followed by George, Darren, Marciniak in fourth, Noah in fifth, Didier Durand in sixth, Lyndon Goldstein. He seems to be fighting Durand there. So Lyndon in last now. Obviously, he was one that was taken out. He's making his way to the rest of the pack, as Marciniak is slowly gaining on Darren, starting last. Let's have a look here. Lance Simmons with the fastest lap in the race. Fast lap. As he comes down into the banked corner here, with George slowly on his tail, Darren behind him. Apologies for that, we are back. I keep being interrupted. Let's see, George still in second, Marciniak in third now. Obviously starting from the pits, not from the pits, sorry, from the back of the pack, overtaking Darren. It seems like first to last will not be at all a sweat for him. In that car where he's won twice before. Now, only a little bit over a second of a gap between first and second. George still in second, maintaining that lead very well from Marciniak there, but Marciniak seems to be slowly catching up. George with the fastest lap of the race, taken immediately by Marciniak there in third position. Oh, it seems like Durand and Goldstein there were fighting for a minute there, but Durand seems to come up on top in fifth position. Darren maintaining his fourth position, with Marciniak slowly leading up to George. Look, George in that number 88 Mini there. OSU Racing. We do have team liveries in this championship, but unfortunately no teams yet. Although we have teams signed up, we do not have enough teams to be able to make a championship table because I believe there's only 2 teams signed up, which means that there would just be 2 teams fighting each other, which is okay. I mean, we have a full team here today. I believe it's I forgot the name of it, but it is a excellent team. Obviously, they have what seems to be 6th, 7th, and 8th. I've forgotten the name of the team. Ellen, I believe it's like we have some excellent racing going on here. Sorry, there's people asking me questions constantly. Apologise for that. I cannot do multiple things at once, but Didier Dren in 5th, Marciniak in 3rd. He's slowly gaining on George in that 2nd position. Oh my goodness, he's only 0.3 of a second away from him. It seems like he may have a chance in the banked corner here as he tries to go on the outside, but makes a what seems to be like a switchback. Can he make it though? No, he seems to be missing that type of speed. Will he? Yep, down the inside as Casper goes. Can he take that 2nd position from George as George goes really deep into the corner? As they both keep it, coming down to that there. And Casper Marciniak makes the move. Excellent racing from him. So that puts him up into 2nd position there, which will give him a lovely 45 points for the championship. George seems to be coming back though on the inside. But he seems to be taking the 2nd position. Marciniak slowly gaining on Lance Simmons there. Apologies, I'm just trying to deal with something at the moment. I will be done in a second. Oh, Marciniak as Lance Simmons goes wide there through that banked corner with George both on their tails. Can Marciniak get it under this corner here? He's in slipstream distance of Lance Simmons there. Coming down what seems to be turn 7. Oh, a little bit of skidding from Lance Simmons there. Managed to keep it together though. George back up in 2nd, but Marciniak slowly going to get that back with a faster entry into the corner as they try to go too wide down there. George keeping it together surprisingly well. Oh, little bump from Marciniak to Lance Simmons there as they go out into turn 10. Down the main straight. Now, George is in well within slipstream distance of Lance Simmons there, right on his bumper as they go into turn 11 there. Excellently kept together by those 3. Very clean racing from them as we go into turn 13 with Casper right on George's tail as they battle it out for P2. Down the long straight here. Casper was trying to bait him into a position change here. So they come down into Turn 2. PB set by Didier Duran there. Coming into the banked corner, which is turn 3. Masiniak trying it down the outside. He's staying on the outside. George has blocked him from going down the inside. And it seems like they're fighting for P2. Masiniak having a hard time trying to get past George there, with a 4/10 gap between them. Can they make it down the long right-hander, which is turn 7? Masiniak making his way. Oh, George going slightly wide there, followed by Masiniak going very wide too. But they managed to keep it on the track as they go into turn 9 there. It's turn 10 now. We have the same position we had last lap, so Lance Simmons in first, George Given in second, Kasper Masiniak in third. Masiniak's trying to go for the second position, but is unable, having a hard time. But oh, and he goes to the dive bomb right down the inside, and then he goes off the track, which means that he will be back in third position, losing a lot of time there behind George. But that's not an issue. There is 14 minutes left of this race. Shouldn't be an issue for him to catch up, though. He has proven himself, starting from last position, going down all the way to third. So from 8th to 3rd, Kasper Masiniak having a decent pace at the moment, with the fastest lap of the race, as he trails behind George, with 1.7 second gap. Have a look between Simmons and George here. Simmons is cruising along in first, managed to keep it together with a 1 second lead from George, followed by Masiniak, which is 1.3 seconds, which is rather far behind him, obviously, but that shouldn't be an issue. Masiniak seems to have the pace, as shown in race 1 and 2, both at Donington Park and the Nürburgring respectively. So we're keeping it in Europe with this championship, I believe. Oh no, race 4 we have Virginia International Raceway, which is in Virginia, America. So that's going to be a very interesting race, considering of how tight the track is. With some corners you can only go 2 wide. But Masiniak slowly gaining on George, 1.1 seconds. But had a slower exit throughout that corner, but is gaining. Rest of the pack. Let's have a look how Noah is doing against Jensen, I believe. Going slightly wide into there, losing plenty of time. Masiniak is gaining on George as they go into turn 14. I believe 13. Making his way into 14. Slowly gaining on George with a 7/10 difference between them both. George has done excellent to keep it together this race, with a P2 finish at the Nürburgring, I believe. So well done to him. Apologies for the delay today, though. We had some issues with the streaming software, which I was unable to fix in time for the race. There was some latency issues which we experienced not too long ago, but for the most part the race is being streamed, and as we were talking there, Masiniak seems to be gaining on George with a 3/10 gap behind him. Can he make it out this corner? Turn 9 there, as they... Oh, he seems to be gaining, and down the inside, can Kasper take it? No, he cannot. Down the straight here, it seems like he is going to have a speed advantage to George, at which he will use. As they're neck and neck here, it seems that George is going slightly faster as we go down into turn 11, with Lance Simmons not having an issue staying in first position. 10 minutes to go of the race here. We see Kasper Masiniak still in second place. Oh, he has overtaken George. My apologies. We're just trying to settle something there. But apart from that, we seem to be... Ooh, Kasper Masiniak is consistent throughout there. Simmons seems to be going slightly wide through there, as they both make their way relatively close to each other down that corner. George keeping it for the most part. He will no doubt gain a podium position today if he manages to keep third position, which I'm fairly sure is very likely, considering Darren is over 15 seconds, almost 16 seconds behind George. But George, oh, he seems to be going deep into that corner, right on Kasper Masiniak's tail there. As they go down into turn 10, Masiniak makes his way very close behind Masiniak. Sorry, Lance Simmons there. But our drivers must stay consistent here, because George still has a chance in getting second position. If he doesn't make any mistakes, and he keeps it, which he has for most of the race. Excellent pace by him. Managed to keep it within under a second of Masiniak down the long straight here. As Masiniak is catching up to Lance here, as he tries to go down the inside but is unable to. Little nudge to Lance Simmons there from Kasper Masiniak. Kasper Masiniak hits Lance Simmons, but ultimately keeps it, and is right on his bumper with slightly over or under 2/10, sorry, behind it. Oh, and it seems to be a very close one through the banked corner there, which is turn 3, down the downhill bit here. It's turn 4, turn 5, going down to turn 7 here. Is Kasper faster through here? Let's see. They seem to be very close, as George manages to stay on the track down here as they all clash podium positions here. But majority of the race has been, in fact, not the majority, the whole race has been led by Lance Simmons here, with Masiniak right on his tail for the most part of the last 6 minutes, which is excellent news for him, because that means he'll gain another 45 points to the championship and an extra 20, which will put him up to 65 if he goes from last to first. Now his main goal now is catching Lance Simmons with just over 6.5 minutes left of the race. He needs to claim that first position, and he will be slowly creeping up to Lance Simmons. See now. Coming down to the first corner here. George right on his tail. Excellent consistency from actually all of them now. Despite having that move that sent him slightly on the gravel, Masiniak is maintaining that second position, which leads to his greed, or should I say want for the first position even stronger. Now, can he make the move down here? Oh, he's very close. Can he make the move? It's turn 9 there. No, he could not, but he has plenty of time to make this as he goes on the outside. Lance Simmons keeping on the inside. Is he going to make a switch back? Now, let's see if Masiniak has it neck and neck here. Let's see who comes out on top as we go down into turn 11. with under 5 minutes of the race to go. Marciniak still remains in second position, with Lance Simmons defending like an absolute lion in first position. George still has a chance though, as Marciniak and Simmons are constantly fighting it out for that first place, which ultimately leads to time losses between them both. Lance Simmons still on first, with Marciniak having the fastest lap. Marciniak will gain an extra point for his fastest lap efforts. Unfortunately, no fastest lap for qualifying, since he's doing a last to first challenge, which should grant him more points in the championship. Now, there's still relatively few points up for grabs. If Lance were to win this today, he'd get 50 points, and if Marciniak won this today, he would get 45. Or should I say, no, Lance would get 52 because of his fastest lap in qualifying and pole position, but Marciniak will gain a point for fastest lap in the race, which should bump his total up for 46. Let's have a look. Championship. Now let's go back to the race, because it seems to be some action happening between Marciniak and Simmons once again. Can he make it down here? Marciniak going slightly deeper. For the most part, unfortunately losing time. But it seems that we are doing quite good. George in third, giving him another podium finish. Another podium finish for OHG Racing, which have been excellent over the past couple of races. But we've last race for Nürburgring. Oh, and it seems that we are having some moves made. Can Kasper Marciniak take it down the inside? Can he? Let's have a look here. Going down into turn 2. Turn 3. Oh, he goes a little bit deep. Unfortunately, not able to make the move. Lance still defending like a lion, but can he make it down the inside? Oh, a little collision between Marciniak and Simmons there, as they go down into turn 4. Excellent defending from him, with under 2 minutes to go of the race. Let's see if Marciniak can do this. We'll grant him an extra 65 points towards his championship. Oh, and it seems that Lance Simmons has gone off, which means that Marciniak undoubtedly has a chance at first position, with George in second. George just ahead of Lance Simmons there. Oh, and they collide! They collide! George was hit. A collision between George and Lance Simmons there, and George goes off for the second time, but ultimately keeps it together. So there's going to be a battle between Lance and George here, if George can keep it together. I know for the most part that their tyres at this stage of the race aren't going to be very good. So as we come into turn 11, I believe, and then into turn 12, George is under half a second behind Lance Simmons here. But it seems that Marciniak may have the victory under his belt if he can continue being in fast for the next minute. This will be the final lap of the race. Can Marciniak keep it? He just needs to keep that first place now. No mistake for him. One mistake can be absolutely brutal for him, as he goes into the last corner there. The first corner of the last lap. It seems that Marciniak may take the victory here. Another 65 points, 66 points added onto his chart. That will lead him at 172 points throughout the championship. Excellent work from him. let's say, between these drivers. Now we will have driver interviews after this race, as we have Marciniak in first place. Ultimately, he will. Oh, it seems to be a position train between Lyndon and Noah. Oh, sorry, Noah and the other LHG car there, I think. I apologise if I've. No, it's LN. Apologise, but they are fighting as a team for those positions there. Lyndon 7th. Didier Duran though in 8th. Unfortunately, he must have run out of fuel or something. As Marciniak comes into the last corner here, he's going to win round 3 of the OAC Mini Challenge Championship from last to first, and he has won the race. Excellent driving from both of our top drivers. Oh dear, what happened there? Let's get the replay here. Excellent driving from the wall though, as Darren goes into the last corner here in 4th position. Followed by Noah, Jensen, Lyndon, Didier Duran, which is unfortunately a minute behind the rest of them, which should give him a 8th position finish. Not terrible. He is well within points, so he will gain, I believe, 30-something points in that race, which should put him into 2nd or 3rd, depending on how our drivers have finished. Now, on to the driver interviews now. I will be back with you right in a minute as we get our drivers ready for the interviews. We'll be right back. Okay then, so let's have some of our drivers today. The majority of the... In fact, we have all of our drivers, apart from Didier... Oh yes, he's here, okay. Right, let's have the race winner for the 3rd time this season, Kasper Marciniak, up to speak. Hello, Kasper. How was your race?
Hello. It was good, but I had a lot of funny moments and frustration because of Lance was doing questionable moves, and I don't think some of them were against the rules, but some of them were really questionable. And I managed to get through because of a mistake, and that's why I won. Yeah, and on the first lap, I apologize for like slightly bumping someone, and yeah, but I don't think it affected them too much.
You had a really decent race.
Yeah, it was good.
Last to first, wasn't it?
Yep. And George was kind of a roadblock. If he wasn't there, I would have done it a bit quicker, I think. But yeah.
I think George did really good this race. He managed to keep it together for the most part, which was really cool. So
yeah,
he
I was really.
Sorry, I keep cutting you off. I was just going to say that George has gained another podium finish today, which I think is quite good for him. But yeah, he drove excellent. I think everyone drove excellent, but for the most part, I think George did exceptionally well to keep that together for the for most of the race, and then obviously that unfortunate part where they both George and Lance collided. I think it was at the end. I think it
Yeah,
was, which gave you the
yeah. I saw it in the mirror, and yeah, that was quite unfortunate. But I think it was. I'm not sure actually, but I think Lance made a dive, and yeah, you can imagine that something happened. And yeah, but I was surprised because of George's pace, and I hope that he continues to perform that well because that was great, and he was pretty much on pace, to be honest.
it was good for him because I believe that will bump him up to about third. I think in the championship standings, which it's nice.
Yeah,
Nice to be up there.
yeah. I definitely think that he could challenge me for the championship, but yeah, with the pace, we're still a bit off from each other, and if he practices a lot in like the nearest future, I think he can absolutely match my pace, and yeah, he's really good in those cars.
Yeah, he's been improving though, which is good for him. But do you have anything else to say for your excellent racing today?
No, not really. Thanks for inviting me, and yeah,
Oh, you're welcome.
see you.
It's always nice having you
Yep.
here. And
Yep.
yeah,
See
we'll
you.
hopefully see you next week at VIR, which will be very interesting.
Yeah, yes, I think I can join it probably because uh, I guess I I think Fridays are fine for me. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. Right, let's get George up here. An excellent racer today. Let's get you up here. Did I invite you to speak? I think I did. Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Hello, George.
Hello.
How was your race today? Your excellent racing skills today.
It was actually quite good. Casper's pace from last to first was just incredible. Like the pace that he had.
Oh,
It's just, um,
you did really good though. Your pace was really good today, and I think that if you keep that
Thank you.
up, you might have a chance at the championship. Well, it depends if Casper takes these it participates in these next two races. But if you can catch him, and you have a decent battle on your hands, if you kept that, you could try your best to go, get past him. But for the most part, you managed to keep third for I believe it's third for most
Well, I
of the race.
started P2 and then I finished P3.
That's not bad though,
Yeah,
considering Casper.
I almost finished P2, but had an incident with Lance Simmons, and I'm gonna say it's his fault, but I'll probably report it and we'll see what happens.
You were both racing really hard, so it depends if
Yeah.
you might, well, depends. It might just be a racing incident, but we will see you report that and we'll sort it. But for the most part, racing today was excellent. Do you have anything else to say?
Just good luck for everyone in the next races. Hopefully, you get some more battles like this because it was fun racing.
Yeah, it was very good. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us for the past three races. It's been excellent having you. But yeah, we'll see you next week, and hopefully you can get another podium.
Maybe.
All right. Thank you, George.
Right.
Thank you. Right, let's get Darren up. Everyone will have a turn. Don't worry. Let's get Darren up next. Hello, Darren.
Hello.
How was your race?
Shit.
You did. Or did you finish was it fourth? You finished?
Finished fourth, started third. Gave Casper a position because I was slowing him down. Didn't want that.
But as I saw, you were clean. I think you didn't have any incidents, did you?
No instance because I saw no one.
Yeah. But you finished 4th, which I believe, gets you 42 points in the championship. So that gives
Still
you.
good points, but
That's
sadly being beaten by George, and I don't want that.
Well, that will put you up into that. I believe that will keep you in the 3rd or 4th in the championship, which is not bad. Not bad at all. But you did, for the times where I did look at you, you were doing okay. Qualifying, you did pretty good as well. Is there anything you want to say?
Nope, just hoping. Even I don't want to be mean to Lance since I brutally murdered him in Monza last time. I hope Lance does get like an outstanding penalty of 30, 40 seconds, just when I can stay in front of George.
Well, I mean, you all did excellent, but we shall see what happens, because you could clap back next week. You could get a podium. Let's see who
Hopefully I
participates
do.
next week, because we have a very inconsistent group of people that want to race. But you could have a chance at a victory, if not a podium, next week. So anything can happen. And thank you for racing. It was fun having you here. You added another person to the grid, which is good, considering we only had eight people racing today. Hopefully, we'll be more next season. Next season's calendar will be released on Monday. But yeah, it was nice having you here, and see you next week.
See ya.
See ya. Right, let's get the. I believe J&L Racing, I believe their team was. Let's get you up here. Jensen first. Hello, Jensen.
Hello?
How was your race?
Actually, pretty good to be fair.
I believe you were 5th or 6th?
Yeah, I started 6th, and then I overtook 2 cars, got up to 4th, went around some laps. One of the 5th car behind me hit me, so I basically just went last. So that's really it.
I saw that. It was quite unfortunate, actually, because you were doing alright until then. But what place did you finish? Was it 6th?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, that still puts you in points. But right. How did you feel about, everyone else's racing, I'd say, because you were unfortunately taken out?
Probably really good. Saw top 3 cars doing like consistently staying really.
Yeah, they were.
Really.
George kept it for. George was really fast today. Good for him. He will hopefully try conquer next week, but would love to see you in the grid again, especially your team, because it was nice seeing you racing. Nice seeing people racing, at least. You were. I'm not sure if it was you and Noah fighting. I think it was.
Yeah, but we're on the same team, so we just kept it like
friendly.
Bad thing.
Friendly.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice to have you on the grid. Obviously, another driver to the grid, but you did quite good. I'm not gonna lie, you did quite good. So did Noah. But
right.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
George, you better win the championship.
Let's go, George. You try and do it. Be difficult,
Yeah.
but you can try and do it. All right. Thank you, Jensen. It was nice having you here, and we'll see you next week. All right. Bye. Right, Noah, you're the last one today. Hello, Noah. How was your race?
So the first lap, I think could have gone so much better. I could have started the first few laps a lot higher position, which would have helped me in the race, but I think it wasn't that bad.
No, you did. I'm not going to be biased or anywhere, but you did quite good.
Thank you.
Everyone did excellent, I think. Minimal incidents is what we kind of wanted all race, and we've kind of got that, minus a couple of little ones, but we've managed to keep out of the multiple car pileups throughout the season. Let's try and keep it that way. But you've raced cleanly. You've had nice little battles with Jensen. I'm sure that was quite cool. And hopefully, let's try. Was it J&L Racing? I think your team was. Let's try and get you up.
Yeah.
Let's try and get you up the leaderboard because you have potential.
Yeah.
It's just trying not to be taken out. I know it's going to be a bit difficult, but I hope to see some good things from you. Anyways, anything else you want to say?
No, that was it. Thank you for having me.
No worries. So, hope to see you next week. If not, no worries.
Yeah.
There's always the week after. But thank you for tuning into the stream today. Thank you for being in the interviews here. Nice to have a couple of interviews, obviously, as requested. But yeah, thank you for joining the interviews, and hope to see you next week.
Thanks. See ya.
See ya. Alright. That will mark the end of the stream today. Hope everyone has a good night, and we will see you next week with hopefully more racing. Hopefully we have a decently sized grid next week. More than 8, hopefully. Well, we'll see. But that wraps it up. So thank you for everyone who tuned in, and see you next week.